channels created in conjunction with the biggest names in music. Eminem's Shade 45, Pearl Jam Radio, Bruce Springsteen's E Street Radio, and more. Visit www.SiriusXM.com/go to sign up online quickly or call 844-711-8800 now. Activate your radio and start listening now.
The golden age of radio is alive and well.
The theater of the mind.
On Sirius XM's Radio Classics. It's where you'll find the magic of old-time radio.
My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Calvin Bernard. My name's Friday.
From the big city to the Old West.
Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
And classic comedy, too.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Bob, way out west home.
Discover Radio Classics on Sirius XM. Call 844-711-8800 now to subscribe or go to SiriusXM.com.
Did you know SiriusXM has over 100 extra channels on the SXM app, filled with ad-free music made for everything you do? Mashup channels, workout channels, channels for parties, or just chilling out and more. Expertly curated for any mood, occasion, or activity. Extra channels let you discover new music and enjoy even more variety from every decade and music style you love. Plus, you can watch some of your favorite SiriusXM shows with SiriusXM Video. And you can do it all along with listening in your car as part of our music and entertainment plan. Right now, we're offering SiriusXM subscription plans for as low as $6 a month, plus fees and taxes. Call 844-711-8800 to find out more about these amazing offers.
From Blue Bloods to Bubble Teams, hear your school try to play their way into the NCAA tournament this week on SiriusXM and the SXM app. Hear live games from 29 men's and women's conference tournaments,
Including every game of the ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, and SEC
on our Power 5 conference channel. For a full schedule of games, go to SiriusXM.com/college basketball schedule.
The dream is alive!
Get the SiriusXM app and listen on your phone when you get out of the car. Anywhere you take your phone, you can take Howard Stern, NFL Radio, and commercial-free music channels from nearly every genre. You never have to miss your favorite SiriusXM programs or commercial-free music. Find the SiriusXM app in the App Store or call 844-711-8800 or visit SiriusXM.com/app to find out more.
Faction Talk, home to SiriusXM's biggest shows.
Nobody wants to hear this nonsense.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts mornings.
We start the day with gratitude. Gratitude for you.
Ronnie Dale Bennington.
It's the Bennington Show.
Yeah, it's a global sensation.
Trump Nation with Eddie Trump.
Dedicated celebration of rock.
The Bonfire with AJ Overson and Dan Soder.
It makes me violently carsick.
Feedback with Nick and Lori.
It has this hypnotizing effect.
Faction Talk, Channel 103 and the SXM app, free with all trials and popular plans. To hear Faction Talk, activate your radio by calling 844-711-8800 or visit SiriusXM.com/go.
VIP treatment, unparalleled insider access. Get it all with the SiriusXM Platinum VIP plan. Platinum VIP comes with service in 2 vehicles and a streaming login for each. Don't have a second vehicle? With Platinum VIP, you can still add a second streaming login so you can enjoy SiriusXM anywhere you go. Our VIPs have access to unique benefits, such as opportunities to experience live and virtual SiriusXM events and priority call handling by a VIP customer care team. Add to that VIP perks such as free access to Stitcher Premium podcasts and access to live concert video and audio recordings through nugs.net. Enjoy all the entertainment we've got. It's all included with your Platinum VIP subscription. Become a VIP today. Call 844-711-8800 to learn more. Offer details apply. Not available in Canada.
Visit www.SiriusXM.com/go to sign up online quickly and activate your radio. If you haven't subscribed to SiriusXM yet, you're missing out on over 140 channels of sports, news, talk, and entertainment, plus commercial-free music. Get play-by-play from your teams, your favorite music, commercial-free, and personalities like Howard Stern, no matter where you live. Unlock it all now. Activate your radio by visiting www.SiriusXM.com/go to sign up online quickly or call 844-711-8800 now.
Hey, it's
It's Grace Sharkey, and I host Freightwaves Drive Time weekdays from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And are you wondering what's powering inflation? Well, we take you to the roots of our economy, the transportation and supply chain sector, to answer those questions. Guests including trucking company owners, freight tech entrepreneurs, and world economists join me to educate you on the industry bringing your favorite goods to your doorstep. Join our conversations on Road Dog Trucking Channel 146.
To hear Freightwaves Radio with Grace Sharkey, activate your radio by calling 844-711-8800 or visit SiriusXM.com/go.
SiriusXM has over 100 extra channels on the SXM app, filled with ad-free music made for everything you do. Mashup channels, workout channels, channels for parties, or just chilling out and more. Expertly curated for any mood, occasion, or activity. Extra channels let you discover new music and enjoy even more variety from every decade and music style you love. Plus, you can watch some of your favorite SiriusXM shows from SiriusXM Video. And you can do it all along with listening in your car as part of our music and entertainment plan. Right now, we're offering SiriusXM subscription plans for as low as $6 a month, plus fees and taxes. Call 844-711-8800 to find out more about these amazing offers.
Hey, so I get a little tired of hearing, well, there's just not enough funny women. Really? Well, here's a whole channel of us.
It's happening. Star-studded, like a who's who.
What a gift! She's so funny on SiriusXM.
It's like going to a comedy club.
We have gathered them.
You love us.
They're all on this channel. It's called She's So Funny.
What the hell is this? Is it a joke? The SXM app, free for most subscribers.
Just because you leave town doesn't mean you should go without your commercial-free music, play-by-play from your favorite teams, or the programs, entertainment, or news you listen to every morning. Get SiriusXM and get the radio you love coast to coast. Call 844-711-8800 or go to SiriusXM.com to activate your radio now.
The biggest musical artists are on The Howard Stern Show.
Elton John, Lady Gaga, Harry Styles, Paul McCartney, Randy Carlisle, Foo Fighters, Neil Young, Billie Eilish.
Exclusive performances.
There she is, Lizzo. Bruce Springsteen.
And one-of-a-kind collaborations.
Miley and Metallica together.
The Howard Stern Show on Howard 100.
Awesome.
To hear Howard 100 and Howard 101, activate your radio by calling 844-711-8800 or visiting SiriusXM.com/go.
Amazing moments happen so much at SiriusXM. We want you to see them. SiriusXM Video lets you watch some of your favorite SiriusXM shows on the SXM app. Groundbreaking interviews, amazing in-show moments, behind-the-scenes footage, live performances, all come to life in a way you only imagined before. Plus, you can create your own personalized Pandora station based on the artists you love. And hear over 100 extra channels filled with ad-free music for every mood or occasion. Get your first 6 months of our Platinum plan for only $8.33 per month, plus fees and taxes. Just call 844-711-8800 to take advantage of this amazing offer.
Icons, innovators, and rising stars explore decades of music throughout Women's History Month from fearless, ferocious females of rock, hip-hop,
girls is players too.
Country,
for service and devotion,
and more. With their very own limited run channels throughout the month of March across SiriusXM and on the SXM app, included in all trials and popular plans.
Get the SiriusXM app and listen on your phone when you get out of the car. Anywhere you take your phone, you can take Howard Stern, NFL Radio, and commercial-free music channels from nearly every genre. You never have to miss your favorite SiriusXM programs or commercial-free music. Find the SiriusXM app in the App Store or call 844-711-8800 or visit SiriusXM.com/app to find out more.
Check out Kevin Hart's exclusive SiriusXM show.
The name of the show is Straight from the Heart, featuring me and the Plastic Cup Boys.
Hear the latest from Kevin Hart on his exclusive SiriusXM show.
We're talking about putting in work, talking about your ladies and the expectations that they may have.
Wait a second.
Straight from the heart. Straight from the heart with Kevin Hart. To hear Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio, activate your radio now. Call 844-711-8800 or go to SiriusXM.com/go to sign up quickly.
Yes, Bagel, all weekend, here are exclusive interviews with nominees like Jamie Lee Curtis, Michelle Yeoh, Brendan Fraser, Colin Farrell, Boston Butler, and many, many more. Jerry Bruckheimer, I'm here for you, Jess, after all these years. Plus, get the latest industry buzz. Will your favorite film win? Find out on Award Show Radio. Happening now on the Sirius XM Channel 109 and on the SXM app.
Rondo Deportes, bonjour, vidi vici. Welcome to the show. My name is Jonathan of Big C Sports. This is Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe. According to me, and people who love the universe, and that would be the UFOs and you, give that some praise. Today's show is a beautiful March the 8th, 2023. Only 9 more months for Christmas. Give that some praise. Today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. When you go by and test drive yours, tell them Charlton of Big C Sports Section, as well as driving the fleet of Cadillac cars all around the universe. As I told you, I fell down a flight of stairs over the weekend, and now it's starting to hurt. Oh my! Oh, I feel so much pain. Yeah, I feel pain. I love that song, Would You It Rain? But I mix it with pain. You can follow Big C Sports Podcast on 27 podcast platforms all around the universe, and also 4 TV platforms on called streaming OTT, Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. And according to my attorney, I feel pain. Man, I really do feel pain. I was trying to tough it out. Ibuprofen got nothing on being pushed down a flight of stairs. Man, it hurts. But as the show must go on, I feel pain. Oh, it hurts. Oh, man, I feel like I was tackled by Luke Skywalker. The way he pushed Darth Vader over that balcony, that's how I feel in Star Wars. But I want to say, oh, my goodness, you can find us on Google, Alexa, Spotify, Good Vibe, Apple Podcasts, iHeart-Radio-Podcast, Podcast Addict, Podchaser. There's also Luminary Podcast, Listen Notes, Podcast Wise. I'm telling you, there's something about when you're trying to talk, and every time you talk, I feel pain in my left side. You know, when I fell, I thought I was in the Matrix. It felt like it took 5 seconds to fall down, but people say I hit the ground in 3 seconds. Now I felt like, down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! I felt like Joe Frazier when he was trying to fight Muhammad Ali, if that makes sense to you. The great Howard Cosell. Oh, fair 11 war. I really do appreciate that. You know, I want to just say I love so much about doing the sports world. And now you hear about guys who have their ribs packed in ice. Speaking of packed in ice, I want to say for you sports bettors out there, betting that you pay your debts so you don't feel a lot of pain. If you don't pay your debts, sometimes good old boys come looking for you, and they too will tell you down the flight of stairs. And you'll feel pain. Man, it got worse after the 3rd day. At first I was thinking, I can tough it out. I'm tough. I've been beaten up before. But at the same time, man, it's amazing how if you ever fall down or get pushed down the flight of stairs, then make sure you go get the checkup right away. And obviously, it's all fair level where I really do appreciate that. You know, I love what I say when it comes to Big C Sports Podcast. If you have a gambling problem and you don't want to be pushed downstairs, 800-GAMBLER, call 800-GAMBLER. If somebody's telling you, I got a phone call today, he said, Carlton. I said, hey, how you doing, sir? He said, hey, Carlton, I gotta tell you, I need you to get your credit card right now. I'm going to make you so rich. I said, you're going to make me rich? He said, yes, just get me a credit card. And just give me the credit card and I'll take care of the enrollment for you. I said, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. He said, just in Carlton, you know I made a lot of millionaires. Just give me your credit card and then take the easy road. Easy like Sunday morning. I think the great Two Live Crew sang Easy Like Sunday Morning. Some people thought it was Lionel Richie, but I didn't. I said, why don't you just take your credit card and sign me up, and then whenever I win $1 million, then take out the enrollment fee, which is $195, if that makes sense to you. And he said, sir, listen to me good. He said, sir, you are a smart aleck, sir. Like he was being respectful. Why are there so many people calling strangers wanting to make a stranger rich? But in order to get rich, they need your credit card to light the fire. Isn't that something? I said, listen, sir, if you use your credit card to make me a rich man, then when I get rich, I will give you back what you gave me plus 10%. I said, that's a bargain. He said, sir, it doesn't work that way, sir. He called me sir as if that's respectful. He said, now I got one more spot. In fact, I got to make 16 guys rich this week. And I got one more slot open, and I got guys calling me right now, but I'm trying to save the last spot for you, Carlton. I said, I appreciate that, sir. Just use your credit card and save me the last spot and give that some praise. He said, well, it doesn't work that way, sir. May lack this track. Oh, Fred Leavenworth, be careful of people that want to make you rich. And they're going to make you so rich, they won't even spend their credit card plus getting back 10%. Doesn't make any sense. I want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3, where God said, let there be light. Open your cell phone or electronic device and say play Big C Sports Podcast. But I don't ask you for your credit card to listen. Give not asking you for your credit card to listen some praise. Everybody that wants to make you rich, guys on the cryptocurrency, I just need you to give me give me your checking account or give me your WhatsApp or give me your whatever it is. Give me. And they're strangers. And you go to call them on the phone and it could be it's like a robot. It's called phishing. And I almost fell for it one time too. I said, listen, this credit card, this is a lucky credit card. It had 8 cents left on it. He said, 8 cents? I said, yeah, it had more than that before the last guy I gave my credit card to make me rich. He said, we can't do anything with 8 cents. I said, neither can I. That's why I was asking you to pay for it, and then I give you 10%. He said I was a smart aleck. I said, no, seriously, man. That car said... Anyway, me like this right. Be careful of those gamblers. They're like men on those internets. They only want to sleep with you. And if you don't sleep with them, they'll just swipe on the next woman that thinks, oh, they all think I'm so cute. Look at how many guys want to meet me. I had a lady at work tell me that she's on the internet surfing for love. And I said, well, be careful of those men you find on the internet. They're on the internet for a reason. Of all the people who are really able to walk and talk in the world, you're dealing with guys that are saying, text me. Why don't you just deal with people that can actually talk to you? And she said, well, look at all these guys that want to meet me. It's like hundreds of them. I said, hundreds of men want to go to bed with you. I said, if you happen to go to bed with 100 men, how do you think that might work out for you? Probably not very good, me like this time. She said, yeah, but they really want to meet me. I said, well, good luck to you if that makes sense to you. It's probably best to meet people that you can see when they're walking and talking and not some robot and a guy that put a picture in there when he was 25 years old and now he's 85 looking for love in all the wrong places. Give looking for love in all the wrong places some praise. I saw a lady on TV this morning and she said that cheating is up. That cheating is up. And there's a website. It's for married couples that want to have an affair. It's called 800 Gambler. I talk about that side of my show all the time. 800 gambler. Be careful who you're gambling with, if that makes sense to you. But supposedly they have 80,000 subscribers. And listen up, men, they're all female. It's the women that want to mess around and look for love in all the wrong places, hoping that they can avoid the itch. be careful of the itch, because it doesn't care who it bites. But 80,000 women, I'm going to say the site. I mean, they're out there. I'm not even going to say the site, because I don't want any junk. But it's called the initials am.com, and they're finding people for married women to sleep with. Yeah, that's some praise. You want to burn down your own house? Go on to am.com. Wow. They don't tell you what happens when it's burning so hard that you got to go to the doctor. And the doctor said, there's a fire, we got to put it out. How'd the fire start? Oh, I went on to am.com looking for letters. Be careful. They help you start the fire, but they don't put them out. You get put out fire sprays. Be careful. Just because somebody wants to sleep with you, that doesn't mean that it's good for you. Anyway, that's my story. But maybe I'm wrong. 80,000 members signed up to am.com. And that's married folks. That's not talking about single people that are looking for love in all these Russian roulette places with strangers. If you find them on the website, there's a reason they're there. There, how about that, Mr. Fong? If you find Mr. Goodbar on the website looking for random women so he can burn, baby, burn. Disco's burn, oh, burn, baby, burn that mother down. That's a song back in the day. But if you're looking for love on those internets, there's a reason they're there, and they're going to burn you next. The fire department may not be able to put it out, if that makes sense to you. Looking for love in all the wrong places. But hey, they got 80 million members, so who am I? People do what they want to do. I also want to say, I want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like your Genesis 1-3, but God said, let there be light. Open your cell phone or electronic device and say play Big C Sports Podcast, and it comes up all over the universe. Really do appreciate that. You know, I love paying homage to my beautiful family legacy. And on my mother's side, my great-grandmother called her Mama, beautiful, loving, kind woman, always making sure there's lots of love in the family and always lots of food in the belly. And really do appreciate her. Then my great-granddaughter, we called him Pop, former military man and former Negro League baseball player, known as making them around his church buddies, making the best moonshine in the history of the universe. Isn't that something? Emphasis saying, boys, get out of that barn. Really do appreciate Pop the Road MacGyver. Can fix anything, planes, trains, and automobiles. All he needed was a duct tape and a water bottle and his Bible. Really do appreciate him. And then my beautiful grandmother, Mudia, a seer, a wonderful, loving, kind woman, can look at a person, tell you a lot about their past, their present, and their future. And she still helps me to this day. Really do appreciate Mudia, beautiful, loving, kind woman. Really do appreciate her. And then my grandfather, Hezekiah, another wonderful seer, a seer that can look at a person, oftentimes tell you a lot about a person's past, their present, and their future. Really do appreciate him. Every time you think about people that are prescient and they can see things before they happen, I want to give them praise. I love giving them praise. And then I can always depend on my mama, the most beautiful mama in the history of the universe. Started a Head Start program, a food program, and also coached an all-boys Little League baseball team to the championship of the universe. Give mama some praise. Come on, a Head Start program, a food program, and also coached an all-boys Little League baseball team to the championship of the universe. It was an all-men's league. They were always playing James Brown. This is a man's world. She said, hey, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. Hey, I love giving mama praise. The best person I ever met in my life. In fact, at the restaurants, everybody wanted Mrs. Courage cooking. And at the church, everybody wanted Mrs. Courage cooking. And at home, everybody wanted mama's cooking. She said, son, how many plates have you had? I say, this is a man's world. You know, that went over a couple of times, and a couple of times it didn't go over. But really do I appreciate my mama. The best person I ever met in my life. Always saying rise and shine. Always being a help to other people. The best mother in the history of the universe. And then on my father's side, My great-granddaddy called him Albert Curry. Oh, Curry. Oh, Brother Curry. He was a pastor. He had 2 churches in Oakland. He built a 3rd church in Central California. He also owned 2 gas stations. And then he had 40 acres of land, like the Emancipation Proclamation, when the great Frederick Douglass was working with President Abraham Lincoln to craft the Emancipation Proclamation, where every free black person was supposed to get 40 acres and a mule. But unfortunately, when President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, President Andrew Johnson, he came along and he vetoed the bill, and he gave the land back to the insurrectionists. And they were able to keep on passing it down from generation to generation to generation. That land was stolen, and rumor has it, according to Judge Wapner, if you maybe even Judge Judy, if you steal something from a bank, when they catch your butt, like Buford T. Justice. In fact, rumor has it Buford T. Justice was trying to find the Emancipation Proclamation to give land back to black people. And he stopped into a restaurant, and the great Burt Reynolds was sitting there, and he said, "Sheriff, you seem like you're in a hurry. How can I help you?" And the sheriff said, "Yeah, I'm in a hurry." He said, "Well, let me pay for that big cheeseburger." He said, "Much obliged, much obliged." He said, "What are you looking for, a bank robber?" He said, "Bank robbers? Bank robbers are baby crap compared to the guys we're looking for." He said, "Well, Sheriff, who are you looking for?" He said, "I'm looking for the guys who stole the Emancipation Proclamation. Get that to praise." That's funny to me. They needed to hire Sheriff Buford T. Justice. He would have gotten the Emancipation Proclamation in the hands of black folks, if that makes sense to you. We really do appreciate the late great Jackie Gleason and the late great Burt Reynolds and Smokey the Bandit. But I tell you, it's just like a lot of other things in life. You gotta laugh, but you gotta get the law on your side too. Really do appreciate my granddaddy, and then my beautiful grandmother, Alberta Curry, working side by side with my granddaddy with the 2 churches in Oakland, building the 3rd church in Central California, and then also working with the I'm telling you, with the 40 acres too. But I was 8 years old walking through a hallway looking for my 40 acres and a mule. I was 8 years old, but I knew how to count out 40 acres. But I was actually looking for some more cookies, too. And she's touching me on my forehead. I thought she was going to say, "No more cookies for you, young man." But that's not what she said. She said, "There's something about your voice. I love hearing you speak." And now Big C Sports Podcast is syndicated on 27 podcast applications all over the universe and 4 TV platforms. In fact, I had a friend of mine say, "Hey, Curry, you got a great voice. You got $1 million voice." And I really appreciate that. I want to give that some praise. I hope that God's listening. So the next time somebody calls and wants to use my credit card to bet on the big game so I can get rich, I'll say, "Hey, I got $1 million voice, But it's nice. It's a nice compliment when you get told you got $1 million voice. I've heard that from so many people. And it's nice to hear it next time I go to the bank. When they say you got several $1 million in your bank account. Like a lot of NFL football players now. Guys that won 9 games. 9 games? Daniel Jones won 9 games last year. And now they're paying him $160 million. Me like this, right? If he gets $160 million for 9 games, what will he get if he wins 10 games? Who would have ever thought that 9 games is worth $160 million? What is Joe Montana thinking? Rumor has it Joe Montana was seen running hills with Jerry Rice. Joe Montana said, "Wait a minute, one year we went 15-1. Can you believe they're giving guys that stopped at 9 wins $160 million? And Jerry Rice said, "Hey, Joe, I'm going to run this hill and you fault me. And you run all the way over to Levi Stadium. And when the season starts off, we going to sign a contract to get that training." Those good boys are going to try to sign a contract too. Anyway, I really do appreciate my grandmother. And then my beautiful father, former United States Air Force pilot, chief mechanic, always making sure that airplanes can fly high so we can all stay safe at night. In fact, always saying, develop your mind to its highest extent. And in the Air Force, my father's roommate was actually the late, I'm telling you, Freeman. And he played the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And one of my favorite movies, Malcolm X, that was written and produced by the great Spike Lee and acted by my favorite actor, the great Denzel Washington. And right now, I got allergies in my nose and I got some hurt ribs. And my allergy said, these hurt ribs ain't got nothing on me. Imagine having allergies and hurt ribs. My attorney said, hey, just come on down to this ivory tower that I have for you and sign these documents. Oh, man. It hurts so bad. What's that song that Pat Benassar had? Hurt so bad. I don't want to make anyone hurt your ears. You make it hurt so bad. I'm begging you, please. Please, 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 please. Come on, attorney. It hurts so bad. Attorneys are funny. I mean, it's nice when they want to get you, they want to do that. They want to work on the pro bono because they know they got a case and they're going to take 40% anyway. So he said, all that pain you feeling right now? He said, how much pain are you in, Mr. Curry? I said, pain. He said, that's good. Remember that when we go to court. We're going to try to get them to settle before we go to court. Hey, I'm telling you, it hurts like heck. I fell down some stairs. I don't know if somebody pushed me or what it was, but I went to step down on the step and I missed the last 4 steps. Next I know I was flying through the air like I was Ringling Brothers and brought on the Bailey Circus. And then I landed on my back. Man, I was tough, but I was feeling a little bit embarrassed. People said, sir, are you okay? Are you okay, sir? I said Tuesday. Man, it hurts. It hurts a lot more the last couple of days than it did the day I fell. But it's all fair and love award. You know, I want to just say, Big C Sports is the only sports show in the universe. I have no scripts. I have no 3-way teleprompter, no producer in the ear, none of that stuff. I produce the show. I direct the topics. I broadcast all the shows. I do all these sound effects based on the platform provided by the agency. We could all use more laughter in our lives. And then the commercials are done. The play-by-play, Steph Curry 4-3. That good boy had a big game last night. The Golden State just refuses to win on the road for some reason. Isn't it something if we have the NBA Western Conference Finals, the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns, and the Eastern Conference Finals, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Philadelphia 76ers? Wouldn't that be something if Sacramento plays Philadelphia for the NBA championship? Who knows? I mean, Mike Brown should be NBA Coach of the Year. I know that much for sure. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world of sports, and I really do appreciate that. I also want to say, oh my goodness, I appreciate so much about being able to do a show. Even though my ribs hurt so much, it's hard to even laugh. I want to say thank you to our Veterans Crisis Hotline. They really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. You know anybody going through issues? 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. And when you do, you want to give them praise because we all need somebody to lean on. I also want to say thank you to Budweiser Zero because rumor has it has 0% alcohol, 100% honest game. Sports fans, when you're watching the big game, you want to eat the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with what's all this exotic meat. Rumor has it tastes better in your mouth than it does in your hands. I guarantee most things in life taste better in your mouth than they do in your hand. And coming soon, the Big C Coffee. The only complaint I've had is curry. Why does your coffee have to be so big? And I say I like big cups, and I cannot lie. And if you've ever been told what I was told, don't be selfish. Take what you want and pour the rest in a smaller cup for somebody else. I've also experienced if the waitress comes too soon to take your cup away, say, I'm not done yet. I've been told that personally. I'm not done yet. Give not being done yet some praise. It's all fair and level war. Man, my ribs hurt. Oh, my goodness. I know how I don't have those whatever they put in those needles under those blue tents that they put NFL football players in on the sideline when they get hurt. They go into the tent and then they come out like Clark Kent, if that makes sense to you. But you know, life's fun, and you just got to do what you got to do. And when you got pain, give attorneys some praise. Give attorneys some praise because we all need praise. You know, I want to touch on just a few things that happen in the world of sports. I know, my goodness, there's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to spring training, Major League Baseball. Also going to talk about some March Madness coming up. But just a little touch up on some Major League Baseballs, some Major League prospects who can make opening day rosters. And, I mean, we're coming up in April when the season is going to open up for Major League Baseball. Last year, if you recall, we didn't have a spring season because they were boycotting. They were just saying, we want more money. We want more, Eddie. Eddie, we want more. And I understand when attorneys want more. They say, no, you just shut up, sign this contract, and let me take over, if that makes sense to you. Gunnar Henderson, infielder for the Baltimore Orioles, may be able to start opening day, if that makes sense to you. He batted .259, and think about it, fielded at 3 infield positions last season during the 34-game stint and ranked as the top prospect over the winter because of his impact. And I'm telling you, the guy had a lot of skills both sides on the field and at the plate. Good old boy is doing his thing. There's another player that may make some noise. Maybe not as much noise as my allergies are making right now, but his name is Corbin Carroll, outfielder for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, he too reached the majors late last season. He batted .260 with 4 home runs and 2 steals in 32 games. He also possesses top of the scale speed. I'm telling you, that good boy has a lot of star potential. Just got to stay healthy, if that makes sense to you. Also, Grayson Rodriguez, a right-hand pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, and the player Rodriguez will have debuted last season had he not suffered a right lat strain. Maybe that's what I have that wiped out most of his second half, and he's a big, strong frame, and I'm telling you, he has a great repertoire, and he can really get the things done. He might be an opening day starter. Struck out 37 last year, if that makes sense to you. There's also Esquivel Tovar, the shortstop. Esquivel Tovar, shortstop. Beg your pardon with my allergies. And with Colorado Rockies, that good boy Tovar received a cup of Big C coffee late last season. He said, "Man, why'd you come after me so big?" I said, "I like big cups so they can hold all that money they about to give you." But I'm telling you, he had a big cup of coffee late last season, popped up in 9 games without making much noise at the plate. Now, he hit .319, which is not bad, and even that's good enough for the Hall of Fame if he does that throughout his career and across the upper minors last season. However, the scouts have projected him to hit for average at some power, have to mature power-wise and get in the weight room, if that makes sense to you. Also, Hunter Brown, the right-handed pitcher for the Houston Astros, the defending World Series champions under the great Dusty Baker. Brown struck out 22 batters and 20 innings last season during his 7-game introduction to the majors. He also worked primarily in relief, and it's possible that whether he ends up for the long haul, that Brown has a high-octane fastball. When you hear about people that like to throw heat, well, he can hit right about 100 miles per hour on the dial, if that makes sense to you. Miguel Vargas, the second baseman, Los Angeles Dodgers. Vargas appeared in 18 big league games last season without showing much life at the plate. That's unlikely to remain the case heading forward, as scouts are high on his ability to find the ball now. He has a better hitting skills this spring than he did last year. Tristan Casas, first baseman, Boston Red Sox, that good old boy. The player, lefty, swinging, Boston has a first-round pick in 2018 and had an unusual first spin in the majors last season. He only hit .197. That's not good, but he showed good discipline and well above average juice during that stay, and he made contact at a league average rate. So that's a good indicator that he's going to make some room this year. Might even put a little more money in his bank account. Oswald Peraza, safety, actually shortstop, New York Yankees, and often overshadowed on the New York farm by the well-regarded Anthony Volpe. And tell you, he provided the Yankees lineup with a spark last season hitting. He batted .306, which is impressive. And he made an impressive amount of contact within the strike zone. And that's what you need, guys that can hit the strike zone and not go at balls that are 5 yards outside of the plate, if that makes sense to you. Logan Ohopi is a catcher, Los Angeles Angels. He came over from the Phillies last summer in the trade that sent Brandon Marsh to the eventual National League champion. And he's a well-rounded, if not particularly flashy, backstop. Atelier has a great track record, performing well in the minors. We'll see what he does if he gets to start in the majors. Josh Jung, third baseman, Texas Rangers. has taken the scenic route since being selected 8th overall in the 2019 draft. He missed most of last season because of a torn labrum, and he did not work his way into the show for a 26-game stretch late in the year. It didn't go well. He posted 83 OPS and struck out 35 more times than he walked in 102 plate appearances. Obviously, they feel a lot better about what he's able to do this year. I wish all of the young baseball players the best of hope and the best of luck, and they don't need any luck. They just need to know how to spell their name on those big contracts. Give spelling a name right on big contracts and praise. If they can do that, then I think they'll be fine. Just learning how to spell your name and not getting too nervous when you see all those zeros on the end of that, if that makes sense to you. So really do appreciate those good boys. I also want to talk about some of the things that, in my mind, with NFL football, NFL is always one of the big things. I know there's talk that maybe some good old boy by the name of Aaron Rodgers, who knows if he's going to go to the Jets. I mean, nobody knows. Aaron will do what he wants to do. But there's some signings. The Atlanta Falcons outside linebacker Lorenzo Carter is signing a 2-year contract, and that's going to be good for the Falcons. They still got to get their offense going again. The franchise tag, talked about that yesterday. Superman Lamar Jackson was given the non-exclusive franchise tag designation on Tuesday. And to me, they should just give him his money. What Baltimore Ravens have been the talk every year since he's been there as maybe a winner of that division. They have to compete with Cleveland. They have to compete with Cincinnati. And they got to compete with Pittsburgh. If you get rid of Superman Lamar Jackson, you're going to be in the building stages again, and nobody wants that when you got a former All-Pro quarterback, if that makes sense to you. In the coaching news, Denard Wilson has been named the Ravens' new defensive backs coach. The team announced that, and Wilson spent the past 2 seasons in Philadelphia under the same title, so he'll try to take his talents and make it happen in Baltimore, if that makes sense to you. Now, defensive tackle for signing Ben Steele has an exclusive rights tender. Cornerback Thomas Graham has an exclusive rights tender for the Denver Broncos. Wide receiver Lil Jordan Humphrey, that good boy, is trying to catch passes from Russell Houdini Wilson. For the Indianapolis coach, he got some coaching news. Gus Bradley is being retained as the Indianapolis coach, defensive coordinator, while Notre Dame's Brian Mason has been hired as the team's new special teams coordinator on Shane Steichen's staff, if that makes sense to you. Shane Steichen out of El Dorado Hills High School and then UNLV. And then roster cuts for the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Quarterback E.J. Perry. When you think about Kansas City, they're always loaded. And roster cuts defensive end Frank Clark's release was announced by the Chiefs on Tuesday. The Los Angeles Rams, just 2 years away from winning the Super Bowl, free agency kicker Matt Gay will not be receiving the franchise transition tag and is set to hit the free agent market. NFL is, a lot of insiders are thinking that may be something they can change. Who knows? The Rams had a lot of salary. They went for everything 2 years ago, and they got the Super Bowl. But this last year, they really had a bad season, and they'll try to figure things out. Also, the Miami Dolphins defensive back Elijah Campbell has exclusive rights tender, and then roster cut tight end Ethan Carter, that good old boy, also trying to make some noise with the NFL free agency for New England Patriots. Quarterback Jonathan Jones will not be franchise tagged and is set to hit the free agent market. And New England's always doing things to try to stay on the top of the heap with the great Bill Belichick, if that makes sense to you. And then I have New Orleans Saints signing defensive back Ugo Amadi, trying to get someone on the opposite side of Derek Carr to show up that defense. Saints still have a good defense. They just got to get their offense intact. Now, for the New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones, when you think about signing, the Giants agreed to terms on a 4-year deal worth $160 million for a quarterback that won. The Giants won 9 games last year. He played in 16 of their 17 regular season games. They won 9 games, and that got him $160 million. Now, when you think about it, that's a great deal for him. I don't know if it's great for the Giants. The pact includes $35 million additional in incentives. They're trying to make him rich, and he hasn't even won 10 games. Franchise tag running back Saquon Barkley being given the non-exclusive franchise tag with quarterback Daniel Jones coming to an agreement on a long-term extension. And obviously, they're going to figure out what they got to do to stay healthy. Barkley will stay with the Giants for at least one more season and is due to make $10 million in 2023. Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster cuts left tackle Donovan Smith being released in a cap-saving move. And obviously, Tom Brady decided that he wanted to retire from football too. There's a lot of stuff going on. The Jaguars released cornerback Shaquille Griffin, who's saving him $13 million on the salary cap. Arizona Cardinals wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is ignoring trade rumors. And that guy can play. He can catch anything. He's just been keeping his head down and he has heard the rumblings regarding his future, and he's ignoring it for the time being. And if you get rid of him, who are you going to go to as your primary? He's the best receiver they have. You got to find someone for Kyler Murray to throw the ball to. Calvin Ridley, I'm thinking about this. Wrote out a letter after reinstatement. He made the worst mistake of his life by gambling on football. That can't be the worst mistake of your life. But it's a mistake that you can't do as an athlete, or you cannot make as an athlete. The owners can get in bed with the gambling industry, but you can't get in bed with them. You just got to watch, if that makes sense to you. NFL is amazing, and they don't let the players do what the owners do, but the guys who write the checks, they're the ones who figure out what it's going to be. But think about this. Speaking of writing checks, Jacksonville Jaguars, Doug Peterson, the head coach, the Jaguars are ready for an eventual Trevor Lawrence extension, and he knows he's going to get a lot of money, and Trevor Lawrence is not eligible for a contract extension until after the 2023 season, but that isn't stopping the Jaguars from making a budget that will land him a big paper bag when he gets ready to do that. Pete Carroll out on the West Coast with the Seattle Seahawks says Geno Smith's deal won't preclude the Seahawks from drafting a quarterback with the number 5 pick, and the Seahawks are locked in starting quarterback Geno Smith. They locked him down this week with a 3-year contract worth up to $105 million. The deal, however, does not change the reality that Seattle could draft a quarterback with the number 5 overall pick. And will Pete Carroll even be around after 3 years with the Seattle Seahawks? He may want to step aside or step up in personnel. Who knows? You never know. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott looking forward to his next extension. And when that time comes, it will happen. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott said he's looking forward to breaking the bank with Jerry Jones, if that makes sense to you. How does Daniel Jones get $160 million and the Giants won 9 games last year? That doesn't make any sense. And in that conference, you had touchdown Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl runner-up with the Philadelphia Eagles, touchdown Dak Prescott with the Dallas Cowboys, and they were in the playoffs. They got knocked out by the boys in them their hills, the 49ers, and then you had the New York Giants. And Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in that division of those 3 teams. That's my opinion. But still, the Ravens placed a non-exclusive franchise tag on quarterback Lamar Jackson. And he's a real deal, former MVP. Out of all the players that I talked about, he's the only one that's a former NFL MVP. You got to give him some praise. But they're saying, hey, go on those websites and swipe left and swipe right because they think they found something better that floats the boat, if that makes sense to you. Well, they're grown folks, and they will do what they want to do. That's just the way love goes. The great Janet Jackson told us that a long time ago, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, and somebody is going to give Lamar Jackson some money. And I don't think it's going to end up in Baltimore, but I could be wrong, but I doubt it. NBA basketball schedule tonight. Got the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Washington Wizards. The Dallas Mavericks taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. The Portland Trailblazers up in Boston taking on those Boston Celtics. And when you think about Zion Williamson, I guess he's still got a hitch in his giddy up and obviously can't stay healthy. So who knows what's going to happen with him if he's going to make it back for the end of the season. You have the Cleveland Cavaliers in South Beach taking on the Miami Heat. The OKC Thunder got a win over Golden State last night, and they're in the Valley of the Suns taking on the Phoenix Suns. The Chicago Bulls up in them, and the Mile High City taking on the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. The Toronto Raptors, they come into the United States and land down south at Crypto.com Arena taking on the LA Clippers, if that makes sense to you. May the best teams win. I want to give all the best teams some praise. Got to give them all praise because everybody's trying to find that one shining moment, if that makes sense to you. And speaking of one shining moment, I know March Madness is right around the corner. It's one of the greatest spectacles in sports. I won't say like the World Cup that has multiple countries that are playing against each other, but in one shining moment, March Madness for college basketball players, you really get to see the David and Goliath play each other. And I like the way that you can get the small teams paying the big boys, they call the Blue Bloods from the Power 5 conferences, and you never know who's going to knock someone off. And I want to get more into what's going on with March Madness at a later time, but I also want to just preview some of the top teams in college basketball and give you Big C's thoughts on where teams might land, and I might go more in depth tomorrow, but I'm going to try to get this in tonight before my allergies give me the rear-legged choke, if that makes sense to you. So Big C's college basketball, I just want to touch on some teams, maybe the top 10 teams in my opinion. And when you think about it, the pressure was on UCLA in his final homestand. Win 2, and the Bruins will be outright Pac-12 champions in the hunt for the number 1 seed. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. made sure that was going to happen. The senior forward playing in his final homestand at the great Pauley Pavilion led the Bruins to an undefeated home record with 26 wins in a row. Think about that. He had 26 in a win over Arizona State, and 22 in the win over Arizona. Now, Jaquez became the ultimate student athlete during his career. He finished with class, and he will be one of the stars in March. His play this past week was All-American style, and I really like what UCLA has been doing. And I still picked them to reach the Final Four and maybe even win it, as the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had his NBA all-points records broken this year by King LeBron James. But in the March Madness Team of the Week, Penn State had to win both games this week to be an NCAA tournament team. The Nittany Lions did in thrilling fashion. They came back to beat Northwestern at the buzzer and then stormed back to a double-digit deficit to knock off Maryland. And when you think about some of the rankings that I'll get into perhaps tomorrow, I'll talk about some of the teams today and get into my Power 10, Big C's Power 10 rankings. But in the meantime, I also want to start today just looking at some of the teams that are at the bottom and maybe trying to play their way in to some March Madness moments. And you think about programs like Providence, Tennessee, Arizona State, and also Bradley. I'm going to look at Utah State. The Aggies have won 5 in a row and are now making a strong NCAA bid, and that would be great for that state of Utah that has primarily BYU, Utah, and Utah State as their main program. I'm going to also look at Pitt. Got them coming in at number 35. The Panthers fell short getting a piece of the title, but Jeff Capel should be the ACC Coach of the Year for the Pittsburgh Panthers, if that makes sense to you. Number 34, Toledo. The Rockets enter the MAC tournament as one of the top 2 favorites, and then they always have a chance to make some noise in the tournament. Number 33, Hofstra. The Pride. What did Vin Rames say about Pride? He said, your butt, you boxers think you like fine wine. You think your butt gets better with time, but you don't. If you were going to be champion, you already would have been champion. So take this stinging sensation and this bag of money and take that to the bank, if that makes sense to you. But the Pride won the CAA, and they're in the thick of the thing, and they're trying to get their bid into March Madness as well. A team that may be changing conferences. I got to verify if USC, if their entire sports program is thinking about joining the Big Ten or just the football. But the USC Trojans, got the split they desperately needed against Arizona schools by beating Arizona State. And obviously, they lost to Arizona. But the Trojans right now coming at number 32 in Big C's power rankings. And then TCU, boy, they're glad they're not playing football because the Horned Frogs were embarrassed by Georgia last year. And basketball is a different story. The Horned Frogs are going to be in a difficult matchup for anyone this week in Kansas City. They have a lot going on in that Big 12 tournament that they're going to be putting on. And then number 30, Northwestern out of the Big 10. The Wildcats got the second seed in the Big 10 after winning at Rutgers on Sunday over in New Jersey. Number 29, Creighton. The Blue Jays are still a real threat to make it deep in the Big East run. I remember the days when the Big East was the thing, was the best conference in college basketball. Now, not so much. And then number 28, Penn State, the Nittany Lions, they got a pair of must-wins over Northwestern on the road and at home against Maryland. The Penn State Nittany Lions trying to do what their football team has done, and that's play big time in big games, if that makes sense to you. Missouri out of the SEC. Dennis Gates has done a phenomenal job in year one. I would think that Missouri would find its way back to the Big 12. Why are they SEC? Because of money, if that makes sense to you. But they're more geographically aligned with the Texas schools, in the Oklahoma and the Kansas and Iowa schools. But they like going down to Florida and Georgia and Alabama, if that makes sense to you. But I wish them well in the tournament. Number 26, Iowa, the Hawkeyes out of the Big Ten. They won at Indiana, but then lost at home to Nebraska, a team that obviously wishes they could have as much football success as they're having in the basketball, if that makes sense to you. I got number 25, VCU, Virginia Commonwealth. The Rams may have to still be going to the A-10, Atlantic 10, but are going to be dangerous if they can get a bid. This is what's great about college basketball. You get a chance, even if you come in at 68 to play in, or 64. College football, you stop at number 4. I know they're expanding to 24 teams. It's just so exciting. They're expanding to 12 teams for Division I AA, FCS. They already played 24 teams. I think the more the merrier. If you have a party, invite a lot of people. Even if everyone doesn't show up, you still have a good crowd. Maryland still believe in the Terrapins, even if they're a much better team at home. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world of college basketball that I will touch on for Big C Sports coming up tomorrow. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Give those teams some praise. They all have something that they want to believe in. Even in college basketball, Sacramento State, they won the Big Sky Conference Championship. And so that's the first time in the history that program's done it, after having a great football program as well. I want to give them some praise. I know there's a lot going on in the world of sports, and everybody's trying to find the top bang for your buck. And you can't always do that. But in light of how much time and effort college student athletes they put into just trying to play better, just trying to make it to the next level of whatever you're trying to do. Oftentimes in women's sports, they have so much great competition. I'd like this. There's a commercial on TV where Stephen Curry is showing his 4 rings, and Sue Bird had her 4 rings also, and they were letting the rings bling bling to each other, and I thought that was great. But obviously the women's sports, they don't make the same kind of noise when it comes to television coverage as the men do, except maybe for tennis with the great Serena Williams. Maybe on that level, I guess you can find women on TV more than men. Everybody feels like they have a chance to win a conference championship. If you're in college, no matter what school you are, if you're in NFL or playing pro sports, everybody's trying to win the division championships and ultimately get to the World Series or the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl or the World Stanley Cup. I mean, it's all fair and level war. But when you think about what it takes to fight through all the pain that I'm feeling from falling down the stairs in a tower last weekend, pain oftentimes doesn't show up for a couple of days. That's something that hurts. It's just like the great Shohei Ohtani hit a pair of 3-run home runs for Japan's WBC tune-up, and that good boy is one of the better players in baseball. You also have the Reds reassign veteran right-handed pitcher Chase Anderson to the Major League camps, and the Atlanta Braves hopeful to have Kyle Wright ready by the opener. Got to get him all healed up. And then Lorenzo Cain to retire this summer as the Kansas City Royal. White Sox pitcher Mike Clevenger ready to focus on baseball. World Baseball Classic 2023. There's a lot of the top 50 players that I'll be getting into. Also, the Red Sox Justin Turner was hit in the face with a pitch. He got 16 stitches just a couple of days ago. Hopefully, he didn't feel the pain that I've been feeling in my side for falling down a flight of stairs on my backside. Well, no matter how far you fall, you got to get back up. The great late Dr. Martin Luther King said, when I fell down, I thought about Dr. King. He said, Curry, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. And my attorney said, oh, I love Dr. King, but that's not it. He said, if you fall, don't get up. Lay down and give God some praise. Life is funny. They have these attorneys that handle everything. And hopefully, I said, listen, man, all I need is enough money to make sure that I can gamble on sports for the rest of my life and not worry about losing. I need enough money to start a new basketball team, so I need about $5 billion. He said, well, how much pain do you have? I said, oh, I got pain. I got pain. Pain. It even hurts to laugh. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. As I always tell you, there's never ever an excuse for drinking and driving. Mothers against drunk drivers are mad. Fathers against drunk drivers are mad. It's one of the easiest things not to do. Call Uber, call Lyft, call a taxi, sleep it off, call a friend. Don't let someone you love drink and drive, especially in, I think they call it Women's Day or Women's Month. I think every day is Women's Month, because without a woman, there'd be nobody on the planet give women praise. Even the one on those am.com looking for love in all the other places, they need help too. If that makes sense to you. Back in the day, there's a man known by the name of Drew Bodini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, you sting like a bee. He said, rumble, young man, rumble. With all you've got to use, how can you lose? Ali said, because I'm so pretty, I can't possibly be beat, because all the big cheeseburgers make me light on the feet. That's why I float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. My beautiful mother always says there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. If you know any man, woman, or child going through that garbage, pick up the phone and ask for help, because no man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage again. Just call 911. Things change when the police show up. As I always tell you, on every Big C Sports Show, I thank you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a super fantastic day. I feel pain. What did my attorney say? I feel pain. Have a super fantastic day.